Have you ever wondered what would happen if the birds in the sky were replaced by drones? Well, neither have I, but it seems we're heading that way regardless. Let's take a minute to reflect on the times when the sky was dominated by birds, kites, and the occasional Superman. Fast forward to today, and you're more likely to spot drones zooming above your head than a flock of pigeons. Yep, those buzzing contraptions are becoming as common as seagulls at a fish fry. Now, drones are not just fancy toys for tech geeks. They've got jobs too. From delivering your pizza hotter than a summer in Sahara, to capturing breathtaking aerial views that would make even birds jealous, drones are revolutionizing the way we live. And let's not forget about those nosy neighbors who have traded their binoculars for drones. Now, they can snoop on your backyard barbecue from the comfort of their couch. Not that we're endorsing such behavior, but you've got to admit, it's a pretty innovative way to keep up with the Joneses. But just imagine if drones really did replace birds. Picture yourself enjoying a peaceful day at the park. Suddenly, instead of a bird dropping an unwanted gift on your head, you're dodging a falling drone battery. Or better yet, a pizza delivery drone mistakenly drops a pepperoni pie on your lap. Now that's what I'd call a food delivery service. Of course, this is all in jest, but it does make one wonder about the future of drones. As they become more integrated into our daily lives, will they become the pigeons of the future? Will city statues be covered in discarded drone parts instead of bird droppings? Only time will tell. So, next time you hear a buzzing sound overhead, don't panic. It's probably not a giant mutant bee. It's just our new overlords, the drones. Ever had that eerie feeling that you're being watched? Well, you're not paranoid. You're just a proud owner of a smart speaker. Welcome to the world of voice-activated assistants, where Alexa, Siri, and their friends are always ready to lend an ear. Or two, or maybe a few thousand if we're counting every device in every home. These little gadgets are life-changing, aren't they? They can play your favorite tunes, answer trivia questions, and even order pizza. All with just a simple command. It's like having a personal assistant, just without the awkwardness of actually having to interact with a human being. But let's face it, with great convenience comes great potential for hilarious misunderstandings. Picture this, you're in the middle of a heated argument with your significant other and you shout, "Siri, play We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together." Only for Siri to mishear and play Love Story instead. Awkward, right? Or worse, imagine asking Alexa for a jazz playlist and she hears gazpacho recipe. Unless you're in the mood for cold tomato soup, that's not quite the vibe you were going for. And then there's the elephant in the room, privacy. Now, I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but isn't it a little unsettling to have a device that's always listening? I mean, sure, they say it's only activated when you say the wake word, but have you ever had Alexa respond when you weren't even talking to her? Yep, thought so. It's like having a nosy neighbor, but one that can potentially share your embarrassing shower singing with a multi-billion-dollar company. Don't get me wrong, smart speakers are a fantastic piece of technology. They make our lives easier, and let's admit it, they're pretty cool. But like with all things, it's about finding the balance. The balance between convenience and privacy, between the useful and the downright weird. Remember, next time you ask Alexa to play Who Let the Dogs Out, make sure your pet isn't in the room. We wouldn't want any canine existential crises, would we? What do a frog on a unicycle, a surprised Pikachu, and a distracted boyfriend have in common? Well, if you don't know, you're probably living under a rock. Or you're my grandpa. Hi, Grandpa. Now, let's talk memes. These quirky, often absurd snippets of culture have become the language of the internet. They're like the hieroglyphics of the digital age, if hieroglyphics were made by sleep-deprived people with a slightly twisted sense of humor. Despite their often nonsensical nature, memes have had a surprisingly significant impact on our culture. They've influenced everything from politics to fashion and even our language. Yes, thanks to memes, phrases like "why you know" and "much wow" are now part of our everyday vernacular. I don't know whether to laugh or cry about that. Memes also serve as a way for people to connect and communicate across the globe. They're like a universal language that transcends borders. You don't need to speak the same language to understand the humor in a cat playing a keyboard or a toddler with a mischievous grin. But let's not forget the strange and often absurd humor found in memes. I mean, who would have thought that a picture of a frog on a unicycle would become a symbol of existential dread? Or that a surprised Pikachu could perfectly encapsulate our reaction to the obvious? Memes also give us a way to comment on current events and social issues, often with a healthy dose of irony and sarcasm. They can be a form of social commentary, a way to cope with the absurdity of the world, or just a means to get a good laugh. And let's face it, in this day and age, we could all use a good laugh. That's the power of memes. They can take a mundane situation, a random image, and turn it into something funny, relatable, or thought-provoking. They're a testament to the creativity and humor of the human mind. So, whether you're a fan of Doge or Pepe, remember, a meme a day keeps the boredom away. But too many might just turn your brain into mush. So, what have we learned today, folks? Well, for starters, we've learned that our skies are increasingly populated by drones, and it's only a matter of time before a pizza delivery drone mistakenly drops a margarita on your head. Next, we've discovered that Alexa might be the world's most discreet eavesdropper. Who knew that our innocent little smart speakers could be such nosy parkers? It's like living with a tech-savvy grandma who isn't quite sure what privacy means. And let's not forget about the rise of the memes. The digital world's answer to hieroglyphics, these quirky little images have gone from internet oddity to the universal language of humor. Who needs Shakespeare when you've got a perfectly timed meme, right? And remember, if you see a drone overhead, hear Alexa laughing randomly, or find yourself explaining memes to your grandma, just know you're living in the future, my friend. A weird, wacky, wonderful future. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go feed my Tamagotchi. Yes, they're back in fashion. No, I'm not joking. Welcome to 2024.